Have you ever fell for a hoax or a prank? If so, I certainly hope it wasn't too brutal. Myself, yes, I have certainly fell for many times over, more than I want to admit. Share with us some practical jokes that you played on someone or one that you fell for. Please share with us. Maybe we will present that in one of our future coming videos. This is Sean with Sugar Shack 7. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to entertain you. Share some love with us today by giving us that virtual thumbs up here on this video. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1, sprinkler padlock. In 2012, a high school student in Vancouver, British Columbia decided to prank another student by taking his padlock for his locker. His harebrained idea was to lock it onto the sprinkler system onto one of the sprinkler heads along the ceiling. He couldn't quite reach it, so he began to jump up and down. While doing so, he broke the filament in the head and set off the entire system throughout the school, raining gallons upon gallons of water. I'm sure you can imagine it caused a lot of damage and needless to say, some grief. Don't think mom and dad were too happy either. Number 2, bald for Bieber. Playing around with cancer isn't cool. In October 2012, Justin Bieber's fans were shocked to find out that Justin Bieber was diagnosed with cancer. It spread like wildfire through social media. Soon the internet was blown up with photos and videos. Fans were showing their support. It went as far as some fans shaving their heads for Justin Bieber. Hashtag bald for Bieber was trending on Twitter. Thousands upon thousands were expressing their hearts for Justin, but it was just an entire hoax. Justin never had cancer. Number 3, Beyonce pays interns with selfies. Have you ever wanted to become an intern for a famous celebrity? Well, the news site Her Campus, which caters to college women, announced an internship that was available with Beyonce. But here's the catch. It's an unpaid internship. The only things they were going to receive was school credit, unlimited Pepsi products, and the interns were able to take 3 selfies with Beyonce over the course of the internship. Since it was Beyonce, many didn't even consider it being not real. Many applied for the position. Even news agencies fell for it by reporting it. Several thought it was a genuine story. No one actually considered the fact that the story ran on April Fool's Day. Number 4, Kangaroo Girl. December 26, 1971, in a small town by the name of Ulka, Australia, there were hunters that claimed to have seen a woman running with the kangaroos. It was reported that she was running while wearing kangaroo skins. Wow, this was the kind of news that would grab the attention of large news agencies. Sure enough, they came out in droves, thinking to get a story about a feral child raised by kangaroos. Once a reporter arrived in town, the hoax was found out. There was no such woman running with kangaroos. The hoax was hatched by 3 local people, 2 women and 1 man, wanting to get publicity for the small town. It worked, as the little town was swarmed by reporters for weeks after the story broke. Number 5, Loch Ness monster found. Old Nessie has been giving us the chase for many years. This is probably one of the best pranks of all times. Scientists from the Yorkshire Flamingo Park Zoo were at Loch Ness trying to prove that the Loch Ness monster was real. They received a phone call from someone stating that something was floating out in the loch. A team of scientists rushed to the shore and got into the boat to find this floating object. Yes, indeed, they did find a body. Was it Nessie or not? They couldn't give an assessment right there. They had to take it back to the zoo to be studied. As you can imagine, news organizations caught wind of this. Journalists contacted the director of Flamingo Park Zoo, Don Robinson, about the find. He told them that he wasn't sure about the find, but it certainly looks like some kind of monster. The area was flooded with reporters trying to find more information. They even interviewed some of the residents that have claimed to have seen it and actually touched it. The story became front page news. Under examination, Michael Rushton from the Edinburgh Zoo concluded it was certainly a strange creature, but it was not a monster or even Nessie. It was actually a bull elephant seal. It showed signs of being frozen. Well, the truth had come out. An education officer at Flamingo Park Zoo, John Shields, admitted to the prank. He said that while he was transporting the seal back to Dudley Zoo in the UK, the seal died. So he decided to prank some of his colleagues. He took the dead seal, shaved off its whiskers, put stones in its cheeks, and froze it for a week. Then, on the trip to Loch Ness, he dropped it into the lake and bone in the tip. Remember the front page news article? That was on April 1st. Yes, he did it as an April Fool's joke. Number 6, Sober Sue. In 1907, the Victoria Theater in New York City offered $100 to anyone who could make a woman named Sober Sue laugh. She was a star attraction of the Hammerstein's roof garden. The theater claimed that Sober Sue was the girl that never laughed. Many people tried to make her laugh, but failure after failure had them wondering how she could manage to never break even a single smile. Some thought she was deaf or partially blind or just lacked a sense of humor. But it turned out to be something else altogether. Sober Sue suffered from facial paralysis. She didn't smile because she couldn't, or at least that's what is to believe, as we know nothing about her except her real name, Susan Kelly. There were other Sober Sues later on, but Susan Kelly was the first. Wonder why there was never a Sober Steve. Number 7, Gadianton Canyon. In May of 1972, 4 girls from Southern Utah University were heading back to their school when they took a left turn towards Gadianton Canyon. As they drove on the black road, it turned white. So they turned around and headed back and began to see fields and trees. They were convinced that they had taken a wrong turn somewhere. Scared, they were thinking about stopping at a restaurant for directions when 4 egg-shaped 3-wheel motorcycles started following them. The girls sped up and eventually found the highway they originally had come from. They accidentally drove into a creek which left them several flat tires. They were forced to stay there through the night. When a state trooper stopped to tell them the next morning, they told him the story of the egg bikes and the white road. He didn't believe them, and of course, but an investigation showed that the tire tracks had suddenly stopped about 600 feet in the desert, like they had been transported into another dimension. Maybe they did, and the girls that returned are not the ones that drove in the desert. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's a lot more to come after this. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and thank you again for giving us that virtual love by giving us a thumbs up on this video. Have a super